There's only a small percentage of people who are going to make it in life. We all know that. That's common knowledge. So before I start breaking down the numbers to show you why, I need you to understand a very clear point. Success is not magic. Success is not built on luck. Success is not winning the fucking success lottery. It doesn't matter, okay? And far too many of you believe in these things. We all know people who think like this, right? Sometimes it's even us. Sometimes we are the ones who are blaming things on magic or luck or circumstance. But we all know people like this, right? You hear them all the time. They're always saying stuff like, I'm not doing that. That's not my job. Or, no way. They're not paying me enough to do that job. But they'll sit there on the bar stool and talk about how hard they work, about how they put in just as much effort as the other guys. They just aren't lucky. These are the same people that talk about success, but will not do any of the necessary steps needed to get there. They won't do any of the necessary extra work to get there. They won't do any personal development. They won't try to learn. They won't try to advance. And they really don't even want to reach that goal. They're just full of shit. And to be honest, they're weak. People who have reached real success in life, who are successful in all areas, being your family, your business, your physical, all of these different things, they realize that winning and being successful is a cause and effect relationship. It's actions and results. It's 2 + 2 = 4. You have to put in the inputs to get the outputs. Every truly successful person understands this as fact. And for sake of ease and convenience, we're going to say there's 100 people out there to start with. Now, we're going to say that 100 of these people have decided today that today is the day they're going to go out and start working and grinding and building a new business. How many times do we hear that? Or substitute build a new business with build a new body or get my shit together. All right, we hear this stuff all the time. But after a few weeks or a few months, what happens? 70 of these people out of the 100, they're going to be gone right out of the bat. These people are going to quit. It's too hard. It's too much work. It's not working out the way I wanted. It's not happening fast enough. And they're going to start something else. And they're going to repeat this cycle over and over and over again. Maybe they didn't see the immediate profit, or maybe they realized that it's a lot harder than what it looks like on the outside. I'll just save you a whole lifetime. It is. Whatever the excuse may be, they quit. So right out of the gate, you've got to understand that 70% of the people who say they're going to do shit don't do any of it. And you recognize these people. You see them all the time. These are the people that, they like to physically be seen working. They always look like they're busy. You look around, they're moving. But what are they getting done? They have to be noticed. They feel like that if they appear to be busy and they appear to be working, that somehow success will find them. And sometimes months go by, sometimes even years go by before they finally actually even get started in this process. They talk, but they never do. We all know people like this. They'll be talking about this amazing idea they have for a business and how it's going to revolutionize the industry, and they're going to make all this money and they're going to change all this shit, except it never happens. These are the true barstool warriors, all right? We all know them and we all have them, and some of our friends are even these people. This is what they're going to be. They're going to be barstool people. Now, that's 70% of people. 70% of people make a relatively immediate exit. All right, what's that leave us with? That leaves us with 30% of our original group. All right, now we're going to talk about another 20 of those 30. Now, these people, they're hard workers. They deserve respect. They contribute. They figured out a routine. They figured out how to be effective. They listen, they learn, and they put what they learned into effect. But then something happens. Their store gets vandalized. Their business gets broken into. They end up in a car accident. A family member becomes ill. And guess what happens? They give up. And then you hear things like this. Well, you know what, guys? I really tried hard, but it just wasn't meant to be. Or you know what, guys? that was my dream, but it just wasn't in the cards. And we hear that for the rest of their lives. And that's the end of their story. They punch out, they shut it down, and that's it. I want you to understand something before I go any further. This journey that you're on is hard. Trust me, I know this. There's going to be way more than just one of these big tests along the way. And you need to prepare yourself now to overcome these tests and see these obstacles as tests. You want to know how I know this shit? Because every one of those things I listed above has happened to me and my business partner. Our first retail location was broken into and robbed. We've both been in car accidents. I was stabbed in the motherfucking face. Chris's mom was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And you know what? We kept at it. Chris, while his mom was in the hospital dying of cancer, would drive 3 hours from Springfield, Missouri to St. Louis every other day. But he didn't quit. And we didn't quit. He still found a way to run and maintain our business. It's dedication to the mission. You need to understand these tests are coming. And whether you face them now or you haven't, it's irrelevant. They're coming. And they're coming for you. And they're going to take a big bite out of your ass. That's the way it goes. Don't let it sink you. So where are we at with the math? We've hit the point where 90% of the initial crowd has fallen off in some way, shape, or form. What's that leave us with? It leaves us with 10%. Now, these are the people who have built businesses. They've gone through the setbacks. They continue to work hard every single day for it. But then what happens? The challenges, the things that they see as adversity, as tests start to disappear. Every day starts to blend together. Wake up, shower, coffee, emails, phone calls, meetings, dinner, TV, bedtime. That's it. It's over, and we start over again tomorrow. They get stuck in this rut and stop looking for ways to excel or move forward. They stop trying to be better. They let the routine numb their hunger, and they fade away because things became boring. And I can't stress this enough, guys. You have to learn to master the mundane. These boring moments, they're what's going to sink you. In the beginning stages, when the hardships are happening, those things are the ones that encourage you and push you to be stronger, because most people can recognize them as adversity and they're looking for a fire to keep them going. But in the mundane times, guys, these are far more dangerous because they offer up a false sense of security. They lure and lull you into a simple, docile creature who's going to fade away and become irrelevant. And that's the real problem with this time period, okay? It's hard as hell to recognize. When you catch yourself saying, you know what? Don't worry about that today. We could take care of it tomorrow. When you let a few customer issues slide because it's just a few grand in the scheme of millions of dollars. When you forget to ship something out that was supposed to be overnighted. When you forget to make that meeting that you were committed to be at. These are all clear signs. It's a slippery slope. And when you start letting these little things slide, these things that 2 years ago you prided yourself on, they add up real quick. And before you know it, you shit the bed with your reputation. It's called the grind for a fucking reason, guys. It's grueling. You have to recognize these moments and build off of them. You have to recognize that the mundane times are just as much of adversity as the difficult times. And if you feel like everything has gone to a standstill, you need to use that as the trigger to get you into motion. Getting through these mundane times are the times that will make or break you from that 10% to that 2%, which is where you want to go. Yeah, you might have all the time in the world right now. Your focus can be wholly on the future, but you got to start acting like you did when you first started. You have to find that hunger. You have to find that drive, and you have to be willing to make things happen so that you can reach that next level. I've seen more successful people ruin their entire existence, their entire life's work from ignoring the mundane and not recognizing it as the adversity, as a dangerous adversity that they had in the beginning when things were challenging and things were hard. So you have to recognize that, because that's going to gobble up another 8 out of these 10 guys. So if 8 out of these 10 guys, the top 10%, are going to drop off when they hit the mundane, what's that leave us with? It leaves us with 2 out of 100. Only 2. And I want you guys to understand this. This is reality. This is why there's so few people that win long term. This is why. Successful people ingrain the drive into themselves. They master the mundane. They are consistent with that mastery. They understand the concepts of longevity and the adjustments that need to be made. These people don't limit this to the concept of business. Their whole lives are driven by these ideals. They don't have to tell people how successful they are, because it fucking shows. Okay, they don't believe in magic. They don't believe in luck. They don't believe in lottery. They don't believe in the success fairy. They believe that they can handle the bumps in the road no matter how big or how small. They're the ones who are going to get there early, stay there late, and you'll never hear them say anything that sounds like, they don't pay me enough to do that. Because when you're in the 2%, you're going to get what the fuck you want 100% of the time in all aspects of life. And if you're the type of person that says, well, the odds are stacked against the average person, well, that sucks for you, because average is just as close to the bottom as it is to the top. And most people don't realize that. It depends on what you want, but those are the numbers. 2% of people make it to elite for a reason. And you can recognize where you are along that scale. Where are you? Are you in that first 70%? Are you in that next 20%? Are you in that next 8%? Or are you in that 2% that never gets stale, that never loses that hunger, that never loses that drive, that never loses the will, that is constantly focusing on bettering themselves at the fundamentals while still working to innovate and find better ways to win? I'm not going to tell you where I'm at, because I think it speaks for itself. And that's reality. If you think that's cocky, it is what it is. Facts are facts, fiction's fiction. Where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as one of these people who's going to sit on a bar stool and talk about how successful they could have been or would have been? Are you going to be one of these people who finds a little bit of success and gets a little bit things going and gets a little bit better and then gives up when shit gets hard? Are you going to be one of these people who actually becomes successful and then gets lazy and loses it? Or are you going to be one of these motherfuckers that wins and keeps winning and inspires other motherfuckers to win till the end of fucking time?